really excited to be here today and speak to all of you about a topic that I'm quite passionate about. So I wanted to talk to everybody about getting rid of talking about culture fit. So I'm gonna talk about shifting this conversation to talking about what people can add to your organization. Before I get talking about that though, I'd like to share a bit of a personal story. So when I first started my career, my sister gave me some unsolicited but very useful advice. I was working at a large pharmaceutical company in New York at the time, and she talked to me about the importance of building relationships and building trust with senior leaders in order to get opportunities and to get visibility within the organization in other areas. As soon as she talked to me about relationships and trust, I was nervous. I really just wanted to hide in the background. I wanted to fade away because when I heard relationships, I associated that with talking about my personal life. I associated it with the awkward Monday morning chats about what did you do on the weekend, who did you hang out with, who did you spend your time with. And I felt really strongly at that time in my life that I wanted to have a work Larissa and a real Larissa. And the two were really separate for me. It took me a little while to realize that this would have a toll on me. This was about 10 or 15 years ago, so I might be dating myself a little bit, but every organization and company wasn't exactly using June as a marketing opportunity to LGBTQ community. I passed as straight, and I had no intention of telling people otherwise. I didn't realize the power of being authentic and being true to who you were in terms of building your brand within an organization. I didn't realize that being vulnerable and being honest was a big part of who you are as a person and getting people to trust you and helping you build teams. It took a lot for me to make this shift. It took a lot for me to stop seeing my difference and my background as a negative and to start seeing it as a positive. To start seeing that I could think about things in a different kind of way. Start seeing that I had a different perspective than other people that were in the room and sitting at that table, and that had value as well. Now I'm the complete opposite for those of you that know me. People came up to me ahead of this session and joked that I couldn't keep it to 5 minutes, which may be true still, but I talk a lot about the importance that trust plays and being honest and authentic to who we are as leaders and building teams. And I talk a lot about business performance, and people know that I'll give them the honest view of the business when they come and talk to me. But I will also not shut up if you ask me about my wife and my daughter now. Building teams and building cultures is hard work. It doesn't happen accidentally. You have to be really intentional with it. At Borrowell, we've been very intentional with how we build and scale our culture. Diversity has been really important to us from the beginning, prior to my joining. We believe that diversity makes us better as a company. We know that it'll give us a strategic advantage in the marketplace. We also know that being B2C, it's so important for us that our employees represent our customers. So why would we not focus on inclusion and diversity? There's tons of business cases that can back up what I'm saying as well, in addition to what most of us in this room I'm sure know, which is it's the right thing to do. So in closing, I would say that in tech, we talk a lot about growing and scaling our businesses from a revenue and a customer perspective. So why don't we shift that thinking into also thinking about how we grow and scale our teams in intentional and meaningful ways. Thanks very much.
Questions?
Hi there, thanks for coming out tonight. We heard a little bit earlier some of the things that Squiggle Park did to direct their culture in the way they want to go. What are some of the things that you and your company are doing to grow your culture the way you want to?
Yeah, so I think we talk a lot about our values, and we really see them as that foundation and the building blocks. We don't talk about the culture in terms of people fitting into this predefined mold. We're excited to see what new hires can bring to the table. We're excited to see about how they can add their own new ways of behaviors and how they identify with these 5 values. So we're very clear about what these values are, and we give examples in the recruiting process and in the onboarding process about how we hope people live out these values. But we also talk a lot to them about what they can bring. We ask them what excites them about when they see these values. How do they think about identifying with them, and how they can contribute as well.